team, it's Alvin back with you for the final series in the 3 mistakes video with respect to cash flow and profitability in your business. So today we're going to be focusing on the 3 biggest mistakes that I see business owners making with respect to the profit aspect of their business. So we're getting towards the end of the year. A lot of businesses might be in that closing stage. Some businesses might be booming. Either way, whichever business you're in, it's really important to not take your eye off the ball with this stuff. Some of these mistakes with respect to profit are the same mistakes that I made when I was running my business earlier on in the piece. It was pretty sucky until I got some help to figure it out, thanks to the coaches that I had. And then I started adapting it to a style that suited me. And we had some great results. So I'm just going to bring up the presentation and walk you through some of the biggest mistakes. So with respect to profit, these are the 3 biggest mistakes that I see business owners making in their business, right? So it's really critical that we get this stuff right. If not, it's just going to be a chaotic volcanic storm if you don't fix this. The main consequences you've probably experienced or you've heard about when you don't have enough profit in your business. Really, the main one is your business just starts to die down. You just become an abandoned hospital, not as sexy as the one on the screen, but do you know what I mean? You just start to shrivel up. You're really trying to do everything to propel your business forward, but if there's no profit in there, it just starts to shut down and you feel very constricted, and it's just slowly dying a death in your business, slowly dying a death. The next major consequence is you start to lose team morale. So one of them, you can't make payroll, which is the main thing. But if you've got a great team, you want to be continually incentivize them. You want to be continually pushing them forward, giving them incentive to grow and produce results. And you need profit, which is equal to cash in your business, so you can do that. So one of the consequences of not having enough profit is it's going to be a real struggle for you to drive your team forward, okay, especially with payroll and incentives in your business. And of course, the last thing is, why are we in business, right? So we're in our businesses to create the lifestyle that we want, to achieve the goals and the dreams that we want. And by not having any profit, you're not going to reach your goals. The business is not going to be providing you with the lifestyle that you want. And that's what it's all about, right? It is for me. And that's, I think, one of the biggest missing pieces I see with business owners is it's got to provide you with the lifestyle that you want, whatever that may be. Yes, that's one of the major consequences, obviously, of not having enough profit. And what it all boils down to is you're actually going to be suffocated. Again, probably not in a nice way how this looks, but you're just going to really feel suffocated. Your hands are going to be tied. When there's no profit at the end of the training period or at the end of the week or whichever period that you measure in your business, it's just going to be really sucky. It's going to be fucking shit, basically. So what I want to do is just run through 3 of the areas which I've known, which I've done myself and which I've been able to help other business owners to fix in the profit component of their business. And I'll run through them and then I'll give you a couple of fixes for each one. So at the moment, I'll just give you a high-level overview. So the first of the 3 biggest mistakes, and these are also obviously the 3 areas you can fix, okay? So the first biggest mistake is business owners don't increase their margins. So we're all scared of increasing our margins, all of us. But few of us realize that by not, it's the fastest way to the bottom, right? Second part is to pay yourself first. So this is a concept which a few business gurus have come across, implemented, brought to our attention. And it hasn't really caught on amongst the business community as yet. But one of the biggest pieces is to pay yourself first. And it sounds so contradictory that, well, I'm not actually making any profit. How can I pay myself first? But that's the strategy that you need to employ. So that's the biggest mistake I see business owners making when they're going wrong, they're actually not paying themselves first. We'll go into why in a minute. The third component I see is when profit's going to shit, you actually forget about your team. So a lot of business owners spend very little time on their team. So your team, as you probably know, is the lifeblood of your business. These are the guys that are going to be running it, growing it for you when you're not there, when you're kayaking through the Whitsundays, aren't they? But we'll go through that team transformation part in a moment. If you don't get this stuff right, you're going to be in a world of pain. It's going to be super frustrating, right? You're just going to be yelling and screaming, and you're going to be trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in my business. But with these three areas, I'm going to walk through a couple of fixes for you. I'm going to give you a little bit of a roadmap on what you can do to fix these parts of your business, okay? So the first one is to increase margins. We all should be increasing our margins, whether you've got products and services. We actually all can be charging more for what we're selling, products and services on that side, okay? So the step one is to figure out what can we increase our margins for. It's not necessarily a blanket approach, but you should be looking at your top products. You should be looking at what particular items in your inventory or what services in your portfolio that you can increase your margins on. Sounds easy, doesn't it? But we just, as a business owner, and I used to do this, we just don't make time to do it. And if you don't make time to do it, you're not going to know. So we need to figure out what we're going to increase our margins on. The next part is we actually need to stop discounting. Now, we've heard this, shouldn't discount, but we end up discounting because that's what everyone else in the market is doing. We just need to stop that practice. And that's the quickest way to erode your margins is by discounting. Often easier said than done. And there are definitely ways around how you can mitigate or sort of make up what you're doing in the discounting side of things. But yeah, it's a really difficult thing to do when everybody around you is discounting. But there are some really clever strategies that you can do with stopping to discount, but really clever strategies to increase the perceived value in the products and services that you are selling to combat that effect of discounting. So they're the two strategies that I would highly recommend you look into. So now let's talk about paying ourselves first, right? So the business is all about us. The business should be about providing us with the freedom, the lifestyle, the choices that we want so we can live our life the way we want. So step one is to start to pay yourself weekly first. So you need to pay your profits to yourself weekly. So this is different from a wage. This is the actual profit in your business. Do it weekly. Sounds a bit funny, right? If you're running out of profit and you don't have enough cash, how the fuck are you going to do that? Well, there is actually a way, and you need to start off slow and incrementally increase your weekly profit draw until you get to the desired amount. So you can't go all in and start taking out all this money that you don't have, but you need to start from a very, very small percentage of paying yourself first. Like I mentioned, this is a concept that's just recently come onto the business community, probably in the last 5 to 10 years. I'm so surprised it hasn't caught on. There've been some amazing authors, Mike McCullough, and a few other people who have spoken about this. When I implemented this in my business, it just made so much sense. And you hear a lot of personal finance gurus talking about the same thing. I think Rich Dad, Poor Dad spoke about it as well with investing. Pay yourself first, always pay yourself first. But in a business context, it's also super important. The next part is allocating of funds, right? So you need to allocate funds in your business preemptively so you can not be caught off guard when when, for instance, tax payments are due, when you need to pay your suppliers and that kind of thing. And by allocating money, you're actually going to increase your profit because you're always going to be ahead of the game, right? And by allocating money to the particular resources that you need to run your business, you're actually going to be a lot more efficient in the way you run your business. You're almost going to force yourself to set a budget and you're going to increase your profit. Third component is the team transformation part of the profit piece. So without a high-performing team, you really won't get to the amazing profit levels that you deserve. And really, you're totally going to be in the day-to-day of the business, which is another discussion totally. So step one is training. Like, you know this, you got to train your team, like in everything. And you need ongoing training as well. So why aren't we doing it? Most business owners, I guess, we're just stuck in the day-to-day, putting out fires and that kind of thing. But training your team, up-training your team, transforming your team, not just in product sales, but also efficiency, productivity, all that kind of thing, continuously, you are just going to drive your profit forward, drive your profits up. And that's a major mistake I see business owners making, is not paying any attention or minimal attention to the team. Now that you've got a team, you need to start working out which KPIs, which key performance indicators are going to drive your business forward and give you the results that you want. And you need to tie that with team, individual, or group or department KPIs. So you need to figure that piece out. It's really, really important that you do that. Otherwise, employees are just coming to work and they're going home. There's nowhere to tie it in to how they are going. And I'm sure you were an employee once. You always want to know, how are you going? And by having KPIs, you are able to set some benchmarks, some comparisons when you do your team reviews. You are doing team reviews, aren't you? So yeah, you definitely need KPIs. And that's one of the big things I see business owners making. They just don't even, not that they don't care about their team, but you just need to be on top of this. You need to spend that extra little bit of time in training your team and working out individual or team or department KPIs, right? If you don't get this stuff right, it's just going to be really, really painful. The whole business is going to be running really, really poorly, and you're going to be so tired because you're running out of money, and it's just going to be fucking shit, isn't it? It's going to be losing on the battlefield. It's going to feel like it. So I just want to recap those 3 biggest mistakes that I see business owners making with respect to the profit component of their business. So let's run through them again, just make sure we're all clear on it. So the first thing you need to fix is you need to increase your margins, right? We've spoken about that. Really, really important. You need to start to pay yourself first. Again, really important. The discipline that you develop from paying yourself first is really going to drive your profits. It feels so counterintuitive, but trust me, it does. And the next part is the team transformation, a super important component of your business. Drive sales, drive profit, gets you out in the kayak, gets you away to your meditation retreats. You definitely need a high-performing team behind you, okay? So if you need some help with this stuff, please comment below, write the word profit, and we'll reach out to you and see if we can help you out, okay? If you get all this stuff right, get the profit component right, get your team sorted, get all those little bits right, you're going to be an absolute champion. And it's going to be really, really easy for you to continue to run this business, to be able to continue to serve your customers properly, to eventually, what you want to do is just create this amazing business that provides for you and provides for your lifestyle, provides a great place for your team. Just overall, just makes it really, really fun. So hope you found that useful. Like I said, if you need some help with this stuff, just comment the word profit below. I'll reach out to you. And thanks for listening. Hope you found that useful, team.